Hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of MongoDB tutorials. So, in this video, we will try to understand queries in MongoDB. So, queries are an important part of any database management system. So, in MongoDB as well, it is an important phase. Database is look guys, database is not about just storing the data, but it is also about how we utilize it. And for utilization of data, we need to use queries in one or the other way to get the meaningful data out of it, right? Let's say I have students data of around 1,000 students, and which includes the name, their age, their standard of studying, their father's income, etc., etc. And let's say I want to give a scheme to a certain number of students who are very poor, right? So for that, I need to have those names, right? So for it, I need to process some query so that I don't have to manually search each and every student and see how its family condition is, right? So there's a small example of a query, right? So let's say this is our data set. We are using the my collection data, which is Raj 29 to up to Murtaza 43. First of all, let me run this. Okay. So about queries, right? So what is the general structure of a query? So the general syntax is we have to write the collection name, then find function. So find function is a tool which will help us to query it. So earlier in the previous video, I shown how to print a certain column, or avoid printing certain column. In that, I left the first part of the argument empty. So now we are going to further filter our search results that were obtained in the previous video using a certain query. So here I'm trying to query a certain record based on the values that are there in the record, right? So what is how to write a query? So this is a general structure of writing a query. So I will be having this block markers at the beginning, at the end, and then I will have a column name or an operator which will followed by a colon, and the value that I am querying with, or the operands that I, because we are using an operator, so it might be some operands that we want to operate with. So an example, two of them examples are, let's say I want to check, I want the records where the roll number is 29. So in that case, the query would be in block markers, the column name which is roll, or the attribute name which is roll, and the value should be 29. So it is equal to 29, because in dictionary format we use colon as equal to or assignment symbol, right? So I am checking if the roll number is 29 or not. Let's say in an advanced query, I want to check, or I want to get the records or documents which the roll number is greater than 30, sorry, the roll number is less than 30. So I want all the roll numbers, or all the students whose roll number is less than 30. I want their details, right? So for that, I will use percent, this dollar LT. So LT stands for less than, right? So similar to less than, I have this many operators. So I have greater than, which is GT. Then I have GTE, which is greater than or equal to. Then I have LTE, which is less than or equal to. So we are including the number that we are comparing that as well. And for equivalence, we have the semicolon. Sorry, we have the colon. So that is self-explanatory. So we can. So this is for numericals, right? So if we have a numeric field like roll number, annual income, age. So for them, for those fields, we can use this GT, which is greater than, less than or equal to query it, right? So this is the way to write a query. So let's take an example. Let's say we execute this only, that we want all the records which has roll number less than 30. So we will write my collection dot find, and then I will write the roll numbers, the query, and if I execute this, I will get a cursor, right? But let's say for cursor, we need for I in this cursor and then print I. So let us see what we get in the output. So this is for I in. Okay, so we get this many records out of this 7 8 records. I get all the records which has roll number less than 30. So now here we can also restrict the output by giving a certain column, right? So let's say I want to hide this ID column because I don't want to expose my IDs. So I can simply write in the second argument that I don't want the ID column. So if I run this again, I'm going to get only the names and roll numbers, not the IDs. So this is how we can perform the advanced queries on numeric fields or numeric attributes. Let's say I don't just want to perform a single query. Let's say I want to have a combination of one or more queries. Let's say like the roll number should be less than 30. Also, there should be a specific name. Let's say I want to search for a record which has a name of Raj and um, the roll number is 29, right? So let's say we have this combination. We want to search this combination. So how we can do that? So there is one more thing to notice here. So whenever we are querying on multiple attributes, then we have to specify the operator first. So this is the structure of query. So if we are trying to perform an operation on multiple attributes, then we have to use operator. Let's say and slash or whatever it is, and then we have to use this colon, and then in this particular column, in this particular value, I have to again specify a marker, and in that I have to write individual queries. So which can be like roll number equals to 29, right? And then name equals to Raj, something like this, right? So if we are performing on multiple attributes, then we have to write in this manner. In the reverse case, let's say I want to perform multiple queries or multiple conditions on a single attribute, then I just have to write. Let's say I want to check there should be roll number should be in a range of 20 to 30, right? Let's take an example like this. So what I will write is I will write roll in quotes, and then I will have another block markers in it, and I will use this lt function which should be less than, let's say, 30, comma, and then I will use this dt function which will be again less than greater than 20, right? And I have to give this particular thing in an end statement, right? I will add end. So if you guys follow it, it's simply doing that. I am taking the end parameter inside and I'm doing it on the attribute, on a single attribute. So that's how this is somewhat tricky, but if you try to give more thought on it, then you will simply get to know what I'm trying to say. So we have to write this particular query in here for and similar for or. So and or is just basic difference that and consider all the individual queries should be true for the overall query to be true, and for or it should be only a single to be true so that all of them can be true, right? So this was about numerical queries. Let's say we are dealing with strings and I want to perform a regular expression on it. Let's say, for example, I have names of the student like something like Raj, Aman, and etc. etc. And I want to fetch the records in which the first letter of the name is R, right? Take it. We are taking an example, right? And let's say even for advanced more such queries, let's say I want to check the I want to get the number of the records in which the name of the person is only 3 letters, right? Something like this. So in that cases, many of us uses regular expression, which is in short regex, right? So if you want to directly use the regex that we have created, we can directly embed that regex in this particular MongoDB queries as well. We just have to write this particular $regex to in this find function. So it will be dot find and then regex. So since we are performing on name, So I will write name colon, and then this block markers. I will write regex, and then this should be in quotes as well. So regex, and whatever your regex is, let's say I want to check if the first letter is R or not. So for the regex for that is the upper arrow and R, right? So if I use this particular thing, I will get my answer. So let's try to code this thing and see if this is working or not. So I'm getting the two rows. Let's say I change it to S, then I get one record which is starting with S. So similarly, like this, you can have the more complex regular expression in this particular format for a particular attribute, and then you can get your answers. So one last operator that I want to discuss in this video is element match, right? So let us assume that we are also storing the number of subjects one student is studying for a particular year or particular semester. Let's say there is a list in which there are names of subjects like mathematics, English, science, etc. Right? And so let's say we have this kind of a field in our document which is named as subjects, right? So in which we have a so we have data and stored in array format, right? And I want to check, let's say there is a query that from the principal or from the authority that give me the names of student or give me the records of student in which who are studying, let's say, geography, science, and social studies, right? I want, if a student is studying these three subjects, I want their names, right? So how can we perform such queries? Using element match, right? So what in this case I have to do is I will write find, and then in subjects I will write subjects because we are performing on subjects field, and then in that I will use element match, which is again in quotes, and then in that I will specify a particular array that I want, that I'm querying for, which can be, which is like geography, science, and social studies, right? And if I perform this query, then I will get all the records in which the subjects are containing these three subjects, right? So that's how we can, if we have an array kind of a thing and array kind of a data stored in a particular document, and we want to check on that. So this is how we use element match. So similarly, there are several operators others as well, but these were the main, and this will be mostly used whenever you are trying to perform anything. So some extra operators are like exist. So this exist will check if the field actually exists or not. So since I told that MongoDB is a very flexible database in which we can have certain fields for certain record, but might not there might not be other fields for certain document, right? So if you want to check if that field exists or not, we can use this exist. Similarly, there is a nor, which is since the opposite of or. So if you use or, then or is nor is the opposite of it. Also, if you want to check what is the type of the particular attribute, then we can use this dollar type, which will return a number which specifies or indicates a specific data type based on BSON code. So you can search on Google what is BSON codes, and you will get a list which has a mapping of a number to a specific data type like integer, float, no character, string, etc., etc. So that's it in this video. Thank you.